let you know. Okay,
It
we're
looks
live.
like we're live. Well, we're going to kind of hold out here a little bit and let a couple people join us before we really dive into this. But Addie, Sarah, thank you guys both for being here. Let me introduce you both. First of all, Sarah, you're my wife. A lot of people don't know that. Maybe they do. But you're also a big part here at Monsters Among Us. You do all the back end stuff. You do all our advertising, our booking, and you keep me sane throughout the week. Ladies and gentlemen, Sarah Carter Hayes is here with us. Hi, Sarah.
Hello, everybody. I'm going to be muted most of the time, but hello.
Yeah, her computer sounds terrible. And our second person is the Crypto Den Mom herself. She does all of our Facebook stuff, our Facebook group especially. She keeps that thing running nice and shiny and clean and keeping everybody from fighting over there, which is a nice thing. So, Addie, thank you for coming and happy holidays and welcome to the show.
Thanks. Thanks for having me.
And of course, if you don't know who I am, my name is Derek Hayes. I am the host of Monsters Among Us podcast, and this is the Monsters Among Us Holiday Special. So, a big, gigantic welcome to everyone here with us this evening. Is there a way to see how many people are in here? I don't see anything like that. Is that
There are 50 viewers right now, I think.
sweet? Then let's get started. Thank you guys. I can't believe there's that many people already. So, anyway, we have something kind of crazy lined up. I think we're in way over our heads this evening, but we're going to give this thing a try. And I'm going to throw a caveat here. If we just suddenly disappear, we're in the midst of an insane, like monsoon rain or something here. We're getting like 4 inches of rain today. So if our power cuts out, there's nothing I can do about it. It was nice seeing you guys. So until then, we're going to keep rolling here. And basically, what we have tonight, we have a variety of different things. The biggest thing, the thing I'm super excited about, is the premiere of the Shadows in the Desert trailer, which we're going to get to later on in the special here. But we have some guests coming on. We have some stories going to be told. We have some trivia coming in later, and we're going to do something. I haven't announced this yet, and this is going to be the teaser. But if you've seen The Office and you've seen the Dundies, you might want to stick around to the end of the episode because we're going to do something really special for some of our big fans here this evening. So thank you all for being here this evening. Happy holidays to everybody. And let's start getting spooky, I guess. Let's get this thing started. And we're going to kick it off. I actually put a call out in last week's show, a couple weeks ago actually, for people that were willing to come on and tell their story on video. And this was a big ask. I honestly didn't think I'd get anybody to do it, but I got two fans to send in their videos. So these brave souls were kind enough to actually film themselves telling these excellent stories, and we're going to share them here with everybody tonight. And we're going to begin with James. I don't know where James is. I think he's in Texas, but we're actually going to begin with James this evening. So here's his holiday story. Just bear with me.
Hey, what's up, Derek and Monsters Among Us podcast people? This is James from Texas, Fort Worth, Texas, to be exact. I've called in a few times. A few of my calls have gotten on air, so I appreciate you sharing my stories, Derek, and appreciate what you do with this podcast. It's awesome. That's why I'm a Patreon supporter, because it's just a great platform for people to share their experiences without any ridicule or without fear of how they sound. But I have one that I wanted to share with you that kind of involves Christmas time. And it's in the same property. I shared a story a while back whenever I was talking about there was a gar or an alligator gar in the water that was bigger than the boat my grandfather was on. And it's in that same property. It's kind of the eastern part of central Texas. This was our deer camp way back when, and I know you were an outdoors guy when you were little, so you know deer camps. But we had this deer camp for a long time when I was growing up, and I was about 6 years old, so it was back in the '90s, early '90s, and maybe even late '80s. I don't know, one of those two, but. We were sitting outside and we were just kind of BSing, having a good time around the campfire. And you know how it is at deer camps, the grown-ups just have a good time telling stories and just cracking up and just having a good time. Well, this time we were sitting out there as a family. This was probably the second weekend in December, something like that, because we always went in December. That was kind of what was our thing. But we were all sitting around the campfire, and all of a sudden there was a light that showed up. And it was far, far away, and kind of give you the setup. You know, we had a little cabin that was kind of right behind us, And the road, it was a dirt road. It was about 5 to 6 mile dirt road that went in front of us, and it was kind of an angle to it. But a light had appeared right on the tree line, about probably where the end of the road was, so probably about 6, 7 miles away. And the trees were probably 75 to 100 foot tall, something like that. But just a single solitary light was there, and just kind of just hovering there. And we all kind of noticed it and didn't really think much of it. And as we kind of went through the evening, we started noticing the light was getting closer, and it was getting closer and closer, very, very slowly, and no noise, no nothing. And the grown-ups started to kind of change their personality a little bit. They started getting, you can tell, kind of nervous, because they always kind of kept looking over at it and kind of seeing where it was. And the kids, we didn't really pay much attention to. We just saw the light there. But the grown-ups started getting fairly nervous about it. And then pretty soon, the light had come about maybe a couple hundred yards away. Again, it was following that road, and still at the tree line, no noise. But this time, when it got that close, all the grown-ups were just watching it at this point. We have no idea what this was. And the light, it was just a white light. It wasn't any kind of color, it wasn't flashing, anything like that. But it was just sitting there, and kind of, we started hearing rustling underneath it. Kind of like, if you have a drone or something, and you hear that rustling underneath when it takes off. It's kind of the same thing, but this was back in the 80s, whenever the late 80s, early 90s, when they really didn't have drones. And we didn't think it was a weather balloon or anything like that, because it just didn't have that look to it. But it just stopped at about that 200, 300 yard mark. And when it stopped, and we started hearing that rustling, our few dogs that were there, they ran towards the light. They ran towards that rustling. At that point, my dad looked at us kids and said, "All right, kids, that must be Santa Claus checking on you, making sure you're doing what you're supposed to do. So why don't y'all run inside and get cleaned up and say your prayers, and y'all get to bed, because Santa Claus is watching." And of course, we were young. I was 6 at the time, so we're like, "Okay, yeah, let's get in there. We don't want to, look bad in front of Santa." So we ran back inside and did what we were supposed to do. But there was a window that I kind of noticed that light out of, and I kept watching it. And the parents were dead silent. They were just staring at this thing. And finally, it started going backwards. So it came up and now started going backwards the same pace, which was extremely slow. And when the last time I looked at it, it was probably a couple miles away. But it was just kind of an odd experience. But the whole thing about Santa Claus coming up, figured I'd share it during this Christmas time. So hope you guys, you and Sarah, have a great Christmas, and have a great new year. Keep 2022 spooky, COVID free, hopefully, but spooky. And look forward to hearing more stories from our listeners. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Big thanks to James. It's certainly not easy to tell a story when a phone or a camera's in your face, and you did an excellent job. So thank you, James, for taking the time to do that. Ladies, what do you think? Is it Santa Claus? Is this a UFO? What do you think visited that deer camp that day?
It was Santa.
It was Santa.
Yeah.
See, if there was a red light accompanied with everything else, then you have Rudolph, of course, then we would know definitively that it was Santa Claus. I honestly didn't expect like a UFO call for this. We just got done publishing the holiday regular version of Monsters Among Us, the podcast, and it was mostly ghost stuff. I had a hard time finding anything that wasn't some sort of haunting or some spiritual thing. But I was pretty excited to hear that James had somewhat of a UFO story for us for this holiday season. Well, again, thank you, James, for taking the time to do that. Ladies, is there anything you'd like to comment on James's story?
I'm good. It was a good story. Thank you for sharing.
Awesome. Well, last year we learned a lot we did the Halloween special last year, and if you haven't picked up on it, we're kind of alternating every year because these are a lot of work to put together. So I don't want to do 2 of them in 2 months. That's my brain can't handle that. So last year we tried to do this. We had all sorts of hiccups. We had issues with lag times. We had people dropping in, dropping out. So this year I thought ahead a little bit, and we created some pre-programming, I guess, to share with everybody. So we're not live the entire time, just to make this a little bit more reliable, I guess. So this next segment, Sarah and I actually filmed this yesterday, and if you're old like Addie and and I can't really throw Sarah in that. She's a young buck still.
No,
Anyway.
I definitely know. I'm not too young for that. But okay.
If you're old enough that you watched MTV in the 90s or early 2000s, you may remember a program called Cribs, where you would a celebrity would take the viewer through their home and show them all the cool crap that they have. Well, last night we filmed something pretty similar. So if you don't mind, I'm going to share that with you right now. So this is MAU Cribs. You got to bear with me while I switch everything over here. Hello! Welcome to Monsters Among Us Studios. Come on in. This is where all the magic takes place. This is our shipping center right here. So basically, you buy merchandise from us, you buy a poster, hat, you name it. It comes through right here. We do a lot of autographs, or I do a lot of autographs right here. And this is where we keep all of our merchandise. We have tons of shirts, we have hoodies, we have hats, posters, pins, badges, you name it. It's all pretty much right here somewhere. And then if you spin around here, this is where we shoot Para-Weekly. This is a brand new section. It's still kind of a work in progress. We're moving some things around. Plenty of lights, plenty of soundproofing, that sort of thing. And this is where the real magic takes place. My research library, my lounge area, my inspiration. Essentially, this is Monsters Among Us Studios. Now here is where I do some reading, mostly napping, sitting right here all curled up. One of my prized possessions right here is this bar my dad made from a tree on his farm. He actually handmade this. So if I want to drink, I get all my glasses, got my booze, and of course, a drawer down here with, all the, that's a mess, you don't want to look in there. But I got all kinds of cool things. I got some antique books, a lot of old Edgar Allan Poe, who knows what else is here. I can't even remember. My movie collection, there's tons of paranormal films, cryptid documentaries, that sort of thing. Lots of artwork. I have artwork from all sorts of people. One of my prized possessions here is actually my wall of fame. And I actually built this studio. I crowdsourced it by selling bricks. So essentially fans could, for $40, get their name carved into one of these bricks. And 30, 40 people took advantage, and here they are. The other things I love is this is actually from the film I, Frankenstein with Aaron Eckhart. This is a rat that they brought back to life. And this thing actually hooks up the wires and jolts around, moves around, but I don't have any of the mechanism to make that happen. This guy actually sat in my office in Beverly Hills for 5 years before I got to bring it home, so I was pretty excited about that. This is my assistant, Annabelle. She makes sure that the fish are fed properly. She makes sure that they're not getting out of the aquarium, or they're not, getting into any kind of trouble. She does a really good job of making sure none of that happens. I play a little bit of guitar, so I have a couple guitars here. awesome fan made me this custom Monsters Among Us cigar box guitar, which is super cool. I got all kinds of artwork, like I said. There's some Brett Manning, some Babs Webb, some pretty cool stuff. These are some of my prized possessions up here. This is Brahms the doll from the film The Boy. This was actually screen used, which is super cool. This is one of the villain's heads on one of the underworlds, and I cannot think of the character's name off the top of my head. I have a lichen skull from one of the underworld films, actually a lichen mounted head from one of the films. And right here is actually where I do most, if not all, of the research for every show that you listen to. I edit all the calls here, I process calls here. Basically, I spend about 50 hours a week sitting right here in this chair, working on the show. And this is where the real magic of Monsters Among Us actually takes place. This is the recording space. Snack area. So if you're hungry during production and you want a bag of popcorn or some gum or maybe some seaweed snacks, this is definitely the place you can grab and go. And lastly, if you've sent me any sort of note, any kind of letter, any kind of gift, I've saved it. And this is my collection of stuff that people have sent me and little cards and things from people I've met. So if we've come in contact, there's probably something of yours up here on this. But so anyway, this is my space. We're looking at about 7 foot wide by 12 to 15 feet in here, somewhere around that. In this room, it's 7 by 7. Combined, it's entirely too small, and it's time for you guys to get the hell out of here. Have a good night. Keep it spooky. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun doing that.
I've not opened my bottle yet.
I did open mine.
Is it
that
good?
stuff will turn you into Frankenstein, I think.
I bet.
They use it to clean as bolts, I think is what that stuff is best used for. It's a great looking bottle though, I guarantee you that.
It is a fun bottle. I just remember when you didn't have the studio.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And that was like when we talked about it and we kind of came up with that idea. That doesn't feel like so long ago, but it was.
It's a lifetime ago, is in comparison to what it was like. When I started the show, I had a blanket fort that I'd built in my garage in LA. And I went and bought a couple packing blankets, and I kind of formed this 4x4 box. There was a motorcycle to my right. There was a camper tongue basically under my chair. I was just kind of wedged in this corner. And I did all this thinking, this is a hobby. I'm going to do a couple shows. This will be a fun thing, and then this will be over. Here we are almost 6 years later, and we have this whole studio going on now, and we're doing these live events. So it's crazy, the journey that we've been on. But yeah, I love this space, and I can't thank the fans enough for helping me make this thing a possibility and making this happen for me, or for us, I guess.
Is this year 4 for me?
I believe it is, yes.
I think it is. I totally forgot.
Yeah. Wow. Time flies when you're working for free.
When you're having fun. When you're having fun.
That's what it is, when you're having fun. I knew it was something like that. Well, anyway, that was MAU Cribs, and I can tell you that's the cleanest my office has ever been. We did a mad dash last night and cleaned it really quick and shot that video. And if you watch closely, you could probably see there was quite a few glitches in there. And we did everything we could to get those glitches out. I have no idea what was going on, but there was some wild stuff with some of these clips. I don't know if Premiere just didn't like the iPhone clips or what it was, but if you watch that video again, there's plenty of little mistakes in there that you can point out if you'd like to. And Sarah likes to make fun of me about this, and I'm going to point it out ahead of time so nobody else can do it. throughout the whole video, I wasn't necessarily nervous. I just had no idea what I was supposed to be saying. So I caught myself saying the same things over and over. So at least 4 or 5 times in the shoot, I said, this is where the real magic happens. And 3 of those made it into the final video. So apparently the magic happens all over the place. And Sarah, what was the other thing I said over and over again?
You have about 50 prized possessions.
Oh, my prized possession. Everything in here is a prized possession. So every time I turned around, I'm like, oh, this is a prized possession. So we had to cut a bunch of those out of there too. But I kind of felt how Snoop Dogg felt when somebody invaded his house and started filming around. So it's pretty wild, pretty crazy. But we've been wanting to do that for a while and show everybody, where all this stuff is created, where all the magic happens, if you will. And this is pretty much the space. So we're happy we could bring you guys along on that little journey.
Annabelle stole the show. She's a star.
She was, man, right on cue. She did everything she was supposed to do. She's a pro. Well, folks, we can move on to the next segment. Do you guys have anything you'd like to talk about before we do that? Or any questions about MAU Cribs, I suppose? Oh, you know what? There's something I'm supposed to say, and I almost forgot. We are doing trivia here in a little bit, probably another 20 minutes, 25 minutes, something like that. So if you would like to play trivia, Sarah, what do they need to do? Send a comment?
Yeah, so I'm watching this chat. Just say that you want to play, and I'm going to write your name down. We're going to have 3 rounds and then a final round. So it doesn't matter how many people we have per round, but I'm hoping to have like maybe 3. So if you're interested in playing, just say that you're interested in playing in the chat, and I will write you down, and then we'll bring you in here shortly.
And there's a winner for each round, and then there's a final round where all 3 winners go up against each other, and they win another prize. So we have Monsters Among Us prize packages for each of those winners, and then the grand winner wins a big old prize pack of some sort. We haven't put these together yet, but they'll probably be pretty sweet. Well, ladies, should we dive into our next viewer-submitted video, I guess is what these are called? Well, then, let's do it. This next one, oddly enough, also takes place around the holidays. And this one is from Peter, and I believe Peter is in Pennsylvania or New Jersey, one of those two. I watched his video, and now I can't remember which of those 2 states. He's from the East Coast somewhere, so let's bring Peter in, and I forgot that's my job, so bear with me 1 second while I bring Peter up here. Everybody gets to watch me figure out technology.
We have a lot of people that want to play trivia, so that's exciting because I was worried that no one was going to step up. So thank you guys. I'm writing you down.
Awesome.
We'll bring you in.
Okay, here comes Peter.
Hey Derek, love the podcast. Just found it 2 months ago and I am hooked. Now just so you know, I'm kind of a skeptical guy, very science-minded. I was a science teacher. But I did have one experience when I was a kid that I just cannot explain and really made me a believer in spirits or just something that we can't see. And that's the story that I'd like to share with you tonight. So for the record, I'm recording in Pennsylvania where I live now, but my experience occurred in New Jersey, this time of year, in fact. So I grew up in a nice little town called Titusville, which is right up against the Delaware River, right where George Washington famously crossed the Delaware during the Revolutionary War. Okay, so background done. Let's set the scene. So, to set the scene, this is in the late 90s. I was probably about 10, and it was about an hour after bedtime on a weekend, so guessing probably something like 11 or midnight. The lights were out. I was in bed, but not asleep, and my brother was across the hall. Both of our doors were open, so I could see into the darkness of his room. He was also asleep. And I thought everyone else in the house was too, until I started hearing footsteps coming up the long staircase. And since my brothers and I played a lot on those stairs, we knew 2 things I really want to tell you. One is that each stair made an excessively loud creak, as if you were sitting into like a leather chair or something. And we knew each one of those creaks like the keys on a piano. They were so distinct. The second thing that I wanted to tell you is that you can't skip those stairs. You can't sneak up on someone who's up there. I've tried, my brothers have tried. So I hear a step on the first stair, and I hear a footfall on the second stair. I'm hearing creak, creak, creak. Just a very deliberate, steady pace. So just in case, I called out, "Dad, can I have a glass of water?" And the steps didn't stop, they kept going. I call, "Dad," louder, and the creaks keep coming. At this point, my brother across the hall, I can make out his profile dart up. He sits up in bed, clearly concerned about what's happening. So, as the footsteps are going, now they're halfway up the stairs, he starts waving over to me, my brother waving over. "Come on, come on." And the good brother I am, I say, "No, you." So after a couple back and forths, he comes running over to my room. And in order to come to my room, running through the hallway, he would see into the stairs just to the right of my room, to the left of his. He would have seen if anyone was, halfway up the stairs, he would have seen their head or maybe even their chest as he ducks under my blanket and we're like, shivering out of fear like Scooby-Doo. And I said, "What did you see?" "Nothing." "Well, come on, you have to have seen something. They're more than halfway up the steps. You would have seen them." He says, "I didn't see anything." So we're shivering and kind of taking little baby steps toward the door frame as we hear the steps coming up, the last few, the last creak, creak, crunk. And so they got to the top of the stairs. And because of where they are, where the steps are in the hallway, it was just out of view. My door frame was just blocking whoever was standing at the top of the steps. And we very, very slowly made our way up to the threshold of the room to look around and see. And there was nothing there. So, needless to say, my brother wanted to sleep in my room that night. I have no idea how we got to sleep knowing that. We even looked down the stairs and we didn't see anything. And because of the second thing I told you, you can't just run down the steps. No one, my dad or burglar or anyone, could have come up those steps and then gotten down the steps without us hearing it. And there's no possible way that they could have gone any other direction because my doorway looks right in front of the top of the steps. So there's no way they could have gone. They were trapped to our senses, right? So we slept, we woke up in the morning, and I tried to explain the situation to my dad and my stepmom, asking, did you do something? Did you hear anything? What's going on? Both my brother and I heard this, so something happened. And my dad, no interest at all. My stepmom, a bit more open to that sort of fringe stuff. But she was having a good time kind of teasing us. So then my stepmom, who was still making wisecracks, suggests, well, maybe it was the spirit of one of Washington's troops, reliving the hellish march through the winter night and was coming in to get warm. Now, I know she was just messing around, but it kind of made sense. After all, we lived right on top of Washington's Trail, the historic path that Washington marched his men across in the Revolutionary War, almost 245 years ago to the day. Those poor men, who were often shoeless, had to march through a terribly cold night in order to make their sneak attack in Trenton on Christmas Day. Probably remember depictions of Washington on a small boat fording the Delaware River with Betsy Ross's flag waving in the piercing wind while his downtrodden-looking militia, morose faces all around, are trying to paddle their way through icy water. It's easy to imagine why someone who endured that would be looking to get in out of the elements on a cold night. There's a door to the outside, the front door, in fact, right at the bottom of the steps. I know it sounds funny to forget that door exists, but We never use it. We always use the side door. So I thought, well, that would explain why I didn't hear any steps around downstairs in the rest of the creaky house. I just heard them starting at the base of the steps. So I opened the door. There was a fresh blanket of snow over the yard and the porch. And I was kind of relieved to see that there was no footprints, because these stories are always kind of creepier when you realize that there was actually a burglar or something in your house. Fortunately, there was no footprints leading through the yard or anything like that. And there was no footprints in the steps leading up to the porch. And there was no footsteps on the porch. But I kid you not, when I looked down to the floor mat, there were footprints facing me, as if someone was still standing there looking at me right in the doorway. And every time I tell this part of the story, I get goosebumps in my arms. No person could make those footprints and have gotten out of the place they were standing without disturbing the rest of the snow. So I decided at that point that it had to be a spirit, and that I was probably looking right through them at that moment. So I closed the storm door and slammed the wooden door and backed myself up against it, like, completely terrified. Whether it was the spirit of one of Washington's troops reliving a hellish march through the winter cold or something else, I don't know. But that is my story for you, and I hope that you enjoy it.
Wow. Thank you, Peter, for sharing that story. And the production value on that video is 10 times better than anything that we're doing over here. So thanks for showing us up, Peter. We appreciate that as well.
I love that story. Thank you for sharing. And I appreciate the effort that you put in drawing the diagram and changing the scenery.
The Kevin McAllister map, I love that.
I have a friend that she used to live near the Oregon Trail, and certain weird things like that would happen in the springtime. And honestly, it was just truly a residual haunting. There really wasn't much intelligence about it. But what I want to know is, were the footprints like feet or shoes?
Oh, yeah. And how big were they? Were they really small? Because
Yeah.
if you go, we lived in LA for a long time, and if you would go to Grauman's Theater in Hollywood, you could see, the footprints in the Walk of Fame, or what is that called over there, Sarah? Anyway, the stars from 100 years ago put their feet in the concrete, and you can still go there today. And people had tiny feet back in the day. Like John Wayne's feet are the size of my hands. And it just amazes me to see how small their feet were, even like 100 years ago or 75 years ago. So I can only imagine 245. Well, we're going to move on to this next segment, and this is the segment I've been waiting a long time for. I'm really tempted to put this at the end, but we want to share this. We want to get this out there, and we cannot wait to share this. So first of all, let me do this. Let me bring in our guest for the evening. You guys know him as my partner in crime for a lot of the stuff we've been doing lately. He's the host of Blurry Photos Podcast and Quiz Bang Bang. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome David Flora.
Ho ho!
Oh, look how festive he is.
Festivus for the rest of us. Not these kids that are in that sack, though.
I got a nice Karrampa shirt too.
I was looking at
courtesy
I thought,
of Erie Eric.
Oh, nice. I like the sleeves on it. I thought maybe you had a flannel and you were just being like super cash.
I'm 10 years old. I'm in my pajamas and I'm ready to go. So, David, you're here to do a lot of things. You're going to host trivia here in a little bit. But first, man, how long have we been waiting to release the trailer of Beyond? The movie I can't even say the title of. How long have we been waiting to release the trailer for this thing?
Oh, we've been waiting almost as long as we've been waiting for the film itself to come out.
Pretty much.
So,
I mean,
like 2 years.
At least we started this project at least 3 years ago. The first discussions about it. The first talks about how could we do this? Could we even do it? All those important questions. And lo and behold, thanks to all the Kickstarters out there, the Kickstarter supporters, we did manage to raise enough money to go out and shoot some stuff in the desert. And we didn't die. We didn't get killed. And we captured some pretty amazing stuff. I want to kind of tease this out a little bit. That's how they do it on TV. They don't do it just immediately. We got to cut to commercial a couple times.
Shut up! Just shut up.
We've got to do a couple reviews of what we felt throughout. Okay, fine. Let's just show the trailer, and then we can come back and talk about it. So, bear with me for 1 second here. We're gonna bring this guy up.
This is the world premiere.
The world premiere.
World in a world where David and Derek didn't use this voice for the trailer.
All right, and we are set. Ladies and gentlemen, the world premiere of Shadows in the Desert, High Strangeness in the Borrego Triangle, the trailer.
So you have all this open space, and when you have quiet and you have open space and you don't have a lot of people around, that's when the quiet things can be a little more loud. UFOs, cryptids, ghosts.
This might be the biggest concentration of paranormal activity I've ever seen.
What the hell's going on out there?
We're on our way to Anza Borrego State Park. There's all sorts of activities taking place in this area.
And I heard 3 footsteps come towards me. It's coming at me.
There's definitely magic out here, and it's not all good.
It was just standing upright, just staring at us.
There really are these things out there.
Ghostly activity can change temperatures.
There's always stuff going on in Anza that you can't explain.
And then it flashed out of the sky.
Straight ahead. It sounded like a sound.
You described it as a monster.
Upright on 2 legs.
There were so many bodies that kept turning up, like unnaturally.
Even the police were searching everything out there.
You know, what is going on?
This is a place where you are close to the natural, and you're even closer to the supernatural.
There it is, guys. That's the trailer. It's surreal. We worked so hard, and a lot of people worked so hard to get to this point, and there it is. It's right there in front of us, and to see, what was it, 8 days or 7 days worth of trudging through the desert, sweating our butts off, and it's all just there in a minute 54, just like that,
Oh, it's such a small taste of what we did out there. There's so many shots. I'm like, I can't wait for you guys to see this, and so many interviews that we got some juicy stuff from. Man,
yeah, we uncovered some stuff really we had no idea we were gonna find out there.
Yeah.
I think it's important that we do this, and I want to do it before I forget. There was a lot of people that worked on this, not just David and I, and I want to thank all of them for taking the time to do everything that they've done. Matt, our editor, a huge thanks to Matt. He was up super late the last 3 nights putting this thing together. David and I had these insane requests, and he met every single one of them. So, Matt, a huge thank you to you, man. We appreciate it. Chris, our cinematographer, he was out in the desert with us, lugging this 60-pound camera and tripod and stuff around with him. He's just a trooper out there, and that guy doesn't know the word quit. Also, we had another cinematographer early on, Will Rogie, a good friend of mine. He did an excellent job. He had to bow out because of other obligations, but his footage is making the film as well, so a big thanks to him. Of course, Roxanne Smith was our producer in the field. She talked to everybody. She got everybody wrangled and found some pretty sweet interviews, quite frankly, people that we normally wouldn't have found. Mm-hmm. And then there's Brian, the sound guy, and I don't remember Brian's last name. For the life of me, I couldn't figure it out, but Brian, if you're listening, I hope you're doing well, buddy. And of course, Sean Campbell out in Anza Borrego, he met up with us and he kind of showed us around the desert and kind of filled us in on the little secrets. And he kept us from dying, I think was the most important thing out there, because we were in some hairy situations. And if it wasn't for him and just a couple of precautions, we might not have made it back. And last but not least, Jonathan Dodd, he does all the artwork for the film. There's going to be a lot of animation in there, so you kind of got a glimpse of his Bigfoot scene there. So a big thanks to Jonathan for his contribution as well. David, is there anybody that I missed? I hope not.
Oh boy, I mean, all the backers, of course.
Of course, yes,
helping making that possible. There's, I think that hits like the main crew though that we have on this. And of course, Jonathan did the poster for it, which is amazing. And we're super lucky with the crew that we got, all together and assembled. So it's very
for
exciting.
What we pay.
especially for two jabrones like us. So,
yeah. For the budget we got put together, which isn't a lot for a film like this. We did a lot and got a lot done. So I'm extremely proud of our crew. I'm extremely proud of what we just showed you, and I can't wait to show you the final product.
Yeah. So we're now in like the writing, scripting, recording phase for narration, voiceover, and stuff, and putting this together from A to Z, basically.
Yeah. And we have a penciled in release date of somewhere in the March area too. We don't want to put too fine a point on it just yet, but things come up a lot. And, this is a passion project we're doing on the side. So we appreciate everybody's patience with everything on this, but we're getting there, and eventually we will have this thing finished, and you guys will be out in the desert there with us.
Yeah. I'm super excited, man.
Yeah, me too. Should we move on to trivia, or should we take a couple questions about the trailer? What do you guys think we should do here?
If anybody's got questions, shoot them at us.
How do I get this?
We can talk about it a little bit or whatever.
Yeah, we're happy to answer a couple questions about the trailer. I'm trying to slow this thing down a little bit. I don't want to speed through this, and next thing you know, it's all over. But I do have a list of things to plow through. David, let me ask you before we do move on, or while we're waiting for a question to maybe come in. After watching the trailer probably 50 times the past couple of days, what was your favorite scene in there that we shot? Which one of those was the most memorable for you, and I guess why?
Memorable, boy. There's a lot of memories attached, like even just that short snippet of us walking that ridge.
Mm-hmm.
I remember climbing up on one of those things, and that was in the Arroyo Tapiado mud caves down there, which is a really kind of dangerous area to begin with, because it's all just mud formations and stuff, and any of that could come down at any point. But that was really fun. And then in the trailer particularly, I love the part where we're actually out investigating, and you say you hear that growl sound.
Yeah.
I don't know. That hits really well, I think, in the trailer. I just humble brag a little bit, but it was a funny experience. But it was neat, and I love that area. That's out by Yaqui Well, because there's those tamarisk tree groves. What is it, salt cedar? It's also known as.
That's pretty much what that is, I think.
And they're all just gnarly, and it's like Tim Burton came out here and was like, "Hey, man, let's just plant these trees," and then he just left. Stuff grew around them.
These trees felt like they've been there for 100 years in the condition that they were in when we found them, and that was pretty dead.
And one was that night in particular, we almost ran into a black widow because there was one on that tree.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, and that night when we got back, there was actually a scorpion on our doorstep. If you remember that. Luckily, that one was dead. I don't know how it ended up dead. It just showed up dead, but it was huge. It was like a good 4-inch scorpion. It was something straight out of a film or something.
Big sucker. And then I think the morning that we left, which might have been that next morning, I forget, but the morning that we left, we walked outside and a coyote just trotted by. Just right there, front yard.
Well, we had a roadrunner in the front yard of our Airbnb the whole week too. So, the desert's alive. And actually, our second shoot, in the middle of it, there was a huge torrential downpour that I don't even know was in the weather forecast.
There were a couple.
Yeah, there was a couple. It rained.
Because when you picked me up and we drove through, we had to stop the truck, and you jumped out to cover the equipment and stuff.
We had equipment in the bed of the truck, and we're driving through like the Palm Springs area, and never in a million years would I expect it to rain going through there. And sure enough, we got caught in a downpour there as well. Yeah. So the desert had all sorts of surprises out there for us.
It was neat, man.
Have any questions come in?
Yep. Can you see them, or do you want me to read them?
I can, but I'm just trying to catch up to where I'm at here. If you see them, you go ahead and read them out.
Okay, so somebody asked SoCal Cole, what are the 3 points of the triangle?
That's an excellent question.
Where did we write that down?
we've argued over this. Here's the deal. We'll be quite honest with you. We'll be a little bit inside baseball. This park is massive, which means the triangle is massive. So anytime we would try putting these points together, like, okay, we got it. We've got everything encompassed. This seems to make a lot of sense. And then we kind of compare it to a state like, I don't know, Indiana. And it's like the size of Indiana. So we're like, I'm exaggerating. It's not quite that big, but it is the size of Rhode Island easily. Yeah. So we're thinking, well, can it be this big? It kind of seems like a cheat when you have half of California as your paranormal hotspot. But quite honest with you, there's so much activity, and to get it all in, we went all the way to the Salton Sea. We went down to what was that? Ocotillo?
Basically the border, Ocotillo, yeah.
Yeah, down at Ocotillo on the border near US 8 or Interstate 8.
Yeah.
And then the other corner
is near. It's kind of near Temecula.
That's
it
right.
doesn't quite make it out there, but it encompasses. We did it in a way where it encompasses the Palomar Mountain, Palomar
Observatory.
Mountains, and the observatory. Yeah, and then it runs across to the Salton Sea to also include Anza in there, Anza, California. So yeah, it doesn't quite make it up to Idlewild, but it does get like Julian in there. Like you said, Ocotillo Wells, all the way over to, like you said, the Salton Sea. And there's, on a map, there's not a lot there, but it's just teeming with things. And you'll drive for a little bit. You're like Warner Springs is in there, small place, but there's a huge amount of activity around there.
Yeah, and a lot of Sasquatch activity in that area.
Sasquatch for sure. So yeah, it's a big area, but that's generally the 3 points, I would say. That Desert Tower down off Interstate 8, and
where our friend Coyote. Yeah. Our friend Coyote lives down there. For those that watched the original Kickstarter trailer, you may remember Coyote. He was quite the character.
Dude, well, people don't know that, but he said that like 50 times when we met him. So
that's been our inside joke throughout the production. Even like Matt, our editor, wasn't even there for any shooting, and he still is in on this joke. He's still aware. So it looks like some other questions have come in, Sarah.
Yeah, can you talk? So somebody said, what is the most interesting phenomenon in that area that may not be that well known? And then there's also just some people kind of asking, like, what kind of phenomena are in that area?
Well, the general phenomena that we found, there's a lot of the Sasquatch activity. They call him the Borrego Sandman down there. You get a little bit.
Oh boy, Addie's okay.
Toward the west, and it burns.
Whoa!
We just lost.
Oh, they're back. You're back.
Sorry.
You're back.
You're back, Derek. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I saw we just slipped out there. Anyway, so we have the Sasquatch activity there that's really seems to be pocketed in different spots. Like, it's not throughout the park, which is really strange. There's a lot of haunted locations. There's a ton of history through there. The conquistadors went through there. There was a stagecoach, a mail line that went through there in the mid-1800s. So there's tons of history that goes back into the 1700s through there. So there's a lot of ghostly activity. These ghost lights that people are seeing left and right. But my answer for the first part, what was something that kind of surprised me, was the military presence out there. No matter where we went, you look up and there's black helicopters literally circling over your vehicle. And at first I thought it was like a coincidence. I thought, well, they're just doing maneuvers and we just happen to be here. But it happened everywhere we went. They just seemed to be right on top of us. So that would be the thing that kind of caught me off guard out there.
I was surprised that there was so much stuff going on in Anza, California. There's one particular phenomenon called Goldie, which it's kind of a ghost light off on Kauai Mountain. Was it the Kauai Mountain?
Kauai.
There's a couple mountains there. And Kauai, I think it was Kauai Mountain that was where Goldie comes from. Anyways, people say they see it, and it's linked to UFO phenomenon. It's more so UFO than ghost light, I guess, but the legend of it goes all the way back to the Kauai the Kauai band of Indians that lives there, and they say it's the spirit of the evil shaman in the area, Takwich.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That is when you see that light, that's him moving to the next mountain over or something, like, you know, it's a transportation kind of thing for him. But it's steeped in such history and lore, especially from Native Americans down in there. And then you go south and there's the Kumeyaay bands down in there, and they have the pictographs. We were fortunate enough to see some of those. We talked to the museum that's down there. And of course, they couldn't speak for the Kumeyaay that were down there. Kumeyaay, I think it is actually pronounced. But it was just interesting to hear all that history. That's kind of one of the things that really got to me about the area, because, like Derek said, that it's like Old West lore and things associated with all the ghosts. Like, most of the ghost stories have to do with like 1880s activity that happened in there, with the stagecoach line running through, bandits, gold, you know, all that good stuff. So, I mean, it's just there's all kinds of stuff. And Coyote, the guy we were talking about, the character in there, he mentioned a dog man at one point.
He did.
Dog man sighting. There's been, you know, I think there were some stories about skinwalkers, but they weren't like very prevalent. So I don't think we didn't really go much into that, because I think those are a little further east. But there's just no shortage of phenomena that's out there, and you name it, basically they got it. UFOs, cryptids, ghosts, ghost lights, military, some weird, almost Men in Black type stuff, but military connected. You know, there's some good stories.
The wild thing about it is, you look at it, especially from a distance, you see in the opening of the trailer, there's nothing. I mean, it's just chalky white rock, and that's pretty much it for hundreds of miles probably. And somehow all these legends are kind of tucked into those little shadowy areas throughout all that stuff. I mean, in some of the places you see there, I think we opened on Fonts Point maybe. There's ghost stories about Fonts Point in that area. Right adjacent to that, there used to be an old antenna array throughout the first part of the prior century. I think that the military was contacting something. There was rumors that it was some sort of extraterrestrial search or something like that, and then there was other talks that it was just simply listening to the Russians and stuff like that. So I don't know what it was really used for, and it's pretty top secret even today. But there's all sorts of history just hidden there, and a lot of it's gone now. It's, you know, sunk into the desert, tore down, you know, repurposed or whatever. But the history's still there.
Here's a question: what is the town it's abandoned, but it was built on the Salton Sea? I know you guys have been there. At least if you and David haven't, I know you and Sarah have camped there.
You're probably talking about Slab City, which is I guess
Bombay
you call it
Beach.
a lawless area. Or Bombay Beach is right on the water, but Slab City's kind of back a ways. But Slab City's the infamous one because it's, I guess law enforcement just doesn't go in there, and they just kind of govern themselves. And it's a lot of transient folks, a lot of artist types that live there, that people in the fringes of society. Sarah and I visited there. It's interesting. It wasn't, people talk about how scary it is, and, you know, a lawless place, but we felt completely fine there. It wasn't a problem at all. It was beautiful, eerie, but beautiful. Well, folks, what do you say we get into some trivia? David, did you bring your trivia board?
Oh, I did. I brought my glitchy software, and we'll give this thing a try and see how it goes.
Okay, so I think there was a lot of people that had interest in playing. I'm not sure if everyone knew that you have to be on camera, so that might have changed it for some people. But I am going to drop the link in the comments here that you can click the link and come into this live stream. And I will let as many people as possible in here, or should maybe we cap it off at like 5? If I can get 5 in, David, for round 1.
That's probably good, yeah.
Okay.
If we're not sure how many total we got, maybe capping at 5 would be fine for now.
Just for round 1,
Yeah.
as long as I can get 5 in here, I don't know how many it will let me have in at a time. So I'm going to drop this link for everybody. And just keep in mind that you're going to need to have either another tab open to use the buzzer, or you could do it on your phone to use the buzzer. So the link is in the chat now, and I will wait for some people to come in. And I don't know if you guys want to answer another question while we're waiting.
We can do that. And yeah, everybody just bear with us while we get this set up. It'll only take us a quick minute here. Did we check out any of the mines out there? Candy Wax wants to know. No, we didn't, did we? We didn't see any mines.
They were out there, but...
Yeah, there are some out there. The thing that we should point out, it was incredibly hot the entire time we were there. Our first shoot was 120. Okay. Our first shoot was 120 degrees, I think, and the next one was much more pleasant at like 112 or 113.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
There was a lot of things we weren't able to do, but we still made pretty good use of our time, I think.
It's weird how the difference between 112 and 120.
Blaze is here. Everybody needs to be careful.
Everybody go home. Sorry.
Last year's trivia champion has entered the building.
Thanks, Derek.
You're welcome. Happy birthday, buddy.
Everybody go home. Yeah, happy birthday.
Last year's trivia champion has entered the building.
This was a screenshot for one of the days we were out there. So yeah, we got
fond
proof.
memories.
Okay, how many we got? 5?
So, all right, so I think we've got 5 people in here. Sean, I see you in the background. You'll be next round, so stay. And everybody else, hold off. I can't let anyone else in for right now. So keeps yelling at me saying, people are trying to come in, so just hold off. We'll wait till next round to get more people in. Okay, I'm going to mute myself.
Sarah, do we have teams for people? Did we assign numbers?
Let's do that. Oh, something keeps popping up. Okay. All right. So let's just go in order here. So Colleen, you be team 1. Hi everybody. Sorry. I get stressed doing this. So hello. Sorry. Okay. Summer, you'll be team 2. Blaze.
Hi, Summer.
Hi, Blaze. Can't wait to see you clean up on this game. You be team 3, Jeremy 4, Frankie
Hey, Jeremy.
5.
Hey, Frankie, you got some dirt on your hat, I think, bud.
Just for you. I wore this.
I'm sure you did.
I did trivia just so you could see this hat.
I'm sure you did.
So those are your team numbers for when you sign into ccg.buzz.
All right, sorry. So I'm going to, everybody who's in the stream right now, on the right-hand side, you should see something that says private chat. And I'll drop the link there, but you want to go to ccg.buzz on either another tab or on your phone, and that's going to be your buzzer.
And
David,
it'll kind of look like that. Once you have it up, you'll just have a little button that you can activate.
All right.
And make sure to put in your team number that we gave you in there. That way you're not on the same team.
Ooh, we're getting official now.
David, I will let you take it from here and be quiet unless you call on me to say something else.
Sounds good. Is everybody in? You got the buzzer or the buzzed or ready or something like that on your device? And you can unmute for this too.
My is asking for a game code. What's the game code?
Let's see. We'll put that in the chat as well.
Yep, it's in the chat. Colleen, this is Addie. I just responded to you and put it in the chat.
Oops.
So when we get started, you guys will. I'll ask the question. You guys will buzz in. I'll say your name so that you know it's you who should be answering, and wait for your name to be called before you answer. and then we'll see if it's right or wrong and go from there. It basically plays just like Jeopardy. You don't have to say what is blah blah blah. You don't have to do it in the form of a question though.
Sarah, we lost Summer. I don't know where she went, but she just disappeared.
Okay. So Summer, if you are here, come back into the stream with that link that I put in the chat. Otherwise, I have a couple other people waiting that I could bring in, and we could try to get Summer next round. Should I do that?
Yeah, let's give her a few seconds. If not, we can just bump her first on the second list there. That's fine. Whatever gets us going quicker.
I think we also lost Jeremy out of here. Jeremy, you weren't in this game, right? Okay. Addie, I think I'm going to have to kick you out. Sorry. See you later. We'll bring you back in.
We'll see you in a bit, Addie.
All right. Bye, Addie. Sorry, everybody. Bear with me. Jeremy, you're back. Later. We'll bring you back in.
We'll see you in a bit, Addie.
And then, I don't know. I might have to kick. I don't think I can kick myself out. Hold on.
You can kick me out. I'm not going to be doing anything but watching
I think
anyway.
I might have to put you in the background. Sorry,
That's
Derek.
fine. That's fine.
Or maybe can you put yourself in the background? Summer's here. Hold on, Derek. Derek, you're fine. You're fine. Summer's back. Okay. All right, we're good.
Okay.
All right,
Cool.
sorry, but
All right, and everybody's logged into that buzzer and everything. I'm gonna start up the board here, and we'll reveal the categories. We're gonna have 3 categories, 5 questions each, and the winner will move on to the final round. So here are the categories and the board. So first category we have Native Legends. Next up, It Came from the Stars. And then Monsters in Film. All right. So, Colleen, since you are Team 1, we'll give you control of the board. You make a selection, and we'll get that question going.
Let's try Monsters in Film for 100.
You got it. Which 2019 film centers on an entity also called Weeping Woman? Colleen.
La Llorona. La Llorona.
Be a little more specific. We were looking for the title of the film.
Oh, The Legend of La Llorona?
Not quite. Let's see. Summer, it looks like you have buzzed.
I had the same answer.
You had The Legend of... Okay. Sorry. Anybody else want to try? Nope. It is The Curse of La Llorona. The Curse. Colleen,
So
you still
close.
have control.
So close.
Let's try Monsters in Film for 200.
Okay. The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then the Bigfoot stars which whiskered actor?
Sorry. Never seen this before. What does this mean?
Colleen.
Sam, what was his last name? Sam. I can't pull it out, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Anybody else want to try?
Do we just? I can't buzz, but can I?
You can't buzz?
No.
Yeah, I can't either.
Oh, great.
You guys saw the code that you had to punch in, right?
Yeah, no, I'm in it. I think maybe once.
It might the timer might have run out, to be honest.
Right.
Okay, let's try another one. That answer was Sam Elliott. So you're almost there, Colleen. You still have control. Let's keep going.
Monsters in Film for 300.
Okay. Rainn Wilson's character gets eaten alive in which movie about a terror from the deep? Someone's trying to buzz? Is it?
I can hear it.
Who was trying to buzz there?
Oh.
I can get it.
All right, Jeremy. Let's see.
I lost the buzzer thing when I tried to switch pages, but
you lost the buzzer thing.
Yeah, when I tried to switch pages, they kicked me off this, and I went to the buzzer page instead.
Oh, okay. The link is ccg.buzz.
But it's the Meg.
That's correct. Let me mark you down for it, because I'm afraid if I mess with the scores, it'll make everybody's buzzer not work, because it's, for some reason, glitchy.
What's the game code again?
We'll put it in the chat.
Okay. All right.
So once you get that, Jeremy, you've got control of the board. You can select next.
Uno momento.
Sure.
Team 4, I believe I was.
That's right.
All right. Go with Monsters in Film for 500.
You got it. The Blair Witch Project was a major inspiration for what 2013 Bobcat Goldthwait directed film, Frankie?
Willow Creek.
That is correct. Well done, Frankie. You have control of the board now.
Let's just finish up the Monsters in Film.
For 400, which 1982 film features a puppet head on a stick, a sunken Nazi plane, and an axe murder? Jeremy.
Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom?
Not this one, sorry.
It's close.
Frankie, did you try to buzz in? It looks like you might have. Okay. Anybody else want to try? Nope. It was the Loch Ness Horror.
Oh, I didn't watch it yet.
Should have listened to that episode.
I gotta watch it first.
Let's see. Who picked that last one? Frankie, was that you?
Yeah.
I think you can choose next.
All right, let's get into Came from the Stars. We'll start with 100.
You got it. For 100, in which state was the Flatwood Monster sighted? Blaze. You're muted, Blaze.
Oh. Here, I think I muted
You're
myself.
you're
fine.
good.
You're good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, good. That would be Indiana.
Not Indiana. Jeremy, looks like you buzzed next.
I want to say Montana.
Not quite Montana. Colleen, you were third.
Idaho? No, not Idaho.
Okay.
No.
Anybody else want to give it a try?
Yeah, I can't buzz, but can I answer it?
Yes, you can.
West Virginia.
That is correct. It is not letting me do it, but I will mark you down for 500 there, Frankie, and you still have control.
All right, let's do It Came from the Stars 200.
You got it. Fire in the Sky tells the abduction story of which American forestry worker? Frankie.
Travis Walton.
Correct. Good job. You can
All
pick
right,
again.
let's do 300.
300. Charles Hickson and Calvin Parker claimed they were abducted while fishing near which Mississippi town? Oh, time is up. That would be Pascagoula. The Pascagoula incident.
I did episodes on that, guys. Come on.
I was going to say Pascagoula.
Just did it.
So close.
Frankie, you still have control.
Let's do 400.
Unsolved Mysteries devoted part of an episode to what acorn-shaped object found in southwestern Pennsylvania? That's time. It was the Kecksburg UFO. Kecksburg UFO. Frankie, still you.
500.
Okay. What was the name of the then U.S. Air Force base where the Rendlesham Forest incident took place?
Oh.
And that would be RAF Woodbridge.
Damn it.
RAF Woodbridge. Frankie, you just got Native Legends left. Which one do you want to go?
Let's start with 100.
Okay. Which evil witches in Navajo lore transform by wearing animal pelts? Let's see, Jeremy buzzed first.
Skinwalkers.
That is correct. Climbing out of the hole there. Which one would you want, Jeremy?
Let's try 300.
300. Which enormous creatures flash lightning from their eyes and cause rain? Colleen.
Thunderbirds.
That is correct. Nicely done. Colleen, you have control.
Let's jump back to 200.
Okay. Symbolizing the horrors of starvation. Jeremy.
Wendigo.
That's the one. 2 left.
Go with 400.
Okay. Which lake demon supposedly inhabits Lake Okanagan? Jeremy.
Ogopogo.
You got it, and you are on the positive now. 1 left. Let's see what it is. Nevada's Pyramid Lake is said to be haunted by what dangerous spirits infamous for their crying? Time is up. That one is the water babies.
Wow.
Water babibies. All right, let me fix these scores a little bit here because we got Jeremy and Frankie have some I need to edit. Let's see. Jeremy, you are team 4. You have 300 more. And then Frankie has a 500 answer for team 5. So it looks like Frankie, you are the winner of this round. Congratulations. You'll move on to the finals. Good job, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. That was, once we got rolling, that was great. That's the hard part about all this. You have to teach everybody how to use it, and then we have to get it all working. But that worked great once we got going. So thank you, everybody, for participating. Frankie, you win a prize, a Monsters Among Us prize pack, and you're going to stick around and play for the grand prize. I don't know what that is, but it's going to be something great we're going to mail to your house. So you guys want to bring in the second round here?
Yeah, I'll switch up, and you guys can load up some new players. Good job, everybody.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, contestants. Thank you.
Check out Bracket Bastards podcast.
Do we just leave studio?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we've got. All right. So who? Hold on. Sorry. I've got Sean. He's ready to play.
Is that Sean Campbell?
You know it.
Oh,
hey!
They'll just let anybody in here, won't they?
Actually, I'm just here to tell you, to ask you about your car's extended warranty.
He's been trying to get a hold of us for so long.
All right.
For those that don't know, Sean was on the shoot with us. He was our local guide throughout pretty much our entire shoot. So he's the guy that kept us alive out there.
He did, indeed.
By the way, it's freezing here.
Good.
What is it, 98?
63.
Oh.
That's what it is inside my house. And it's toasty in here.
Sarah, I am chatting the code.
All right. I just dropped. Okay. So we've got people coming in. Hello. All right, everybody. I just dropped the link in the chat for some other players. We have room for 3 more people in this round.
Sean will be team 1.
That's what it is inside my house.
Is that Davina? It's very small.
Yes, Davina.
Sorry. Okay, cool. Davina, you'll be team 2.
Hi, Davina.
All right. Hi.
How you doing?
Davina? Very small.
Yes, Davina.
Okay, cool.
Brad, you'll be team 3.
All right.
Hey, Brad, how's it going?
Welcome.
Hi.
Yes, Davina.
Cool. Brad.
Sorry, I'm muting some of you guys because there's some feedback for now until I get more people.
Yeah, if you want to avoid feedback, just throw some headphones in. That usually takes care of it. If you're suffering from that. So what are you looking for? One more person? Is that what?
2, I think, maybe.
Brandy. Hey, Brandy, how's it going?
We need
Good,
one more.
Good.
Can you hear me?
We need
Yes,
one
we
more.
can.
We need
Okay,
one more
thanks, Eric.
person. I'll give you a chance. Jeremy wants to play again if there's no takers. So let's see. Let's give it a few more seconds. Otherwise, I'll tell you, and Jeremy can come back in.
That link doesn't
That's
work.
a
All
good
right.
idea.
All right. We got one more person here. Alma, hello.
Hi, Alma. Who's ready to win some prizes
All
here?
right, let's see. If I hadn't said Brandy's team 4, Alma, your team 5 when you sign in there. And I think we're good now. Let's see, I think you guys, if you don't have the code, Sarah will give that to you. I'll go ahead and set up the board for us. And I think we're good now. Let's see, you guys, if you don't have the code, Sarah will give that to you.
David, what team is Brad?
Brad is team 3.
There you go, Brad. Now, if anybody doesn't have it, you have to go to ccg.buzz and then go to the private chat. Sarah has the password, the 4-letter or the 4-character password. You just punch that thing in, you'll get your little button, you'll be good to go.
Okay, sorry. Matt, I see you in the background there. You disappeared, but I'll get you in for round 3, so stick around.
Everybody give me a thumbs up if you've got your buzzer ready to go.
I haven't received the code yet for the buzzer.
Okay, if you look on the right-hand side in the private chat on your screen, click on that, and there's a chat that's just for all of us, and there's a code in there. Let me know if you see it.
Okay, I see it now. Thank you.
Cool. Everybody set? I will reveal the categories. First up, we have spiritualism. Next up, we have it came from the sea. And then humanoids. Sean is first in the queue, so let's have a category from you, sir.
Let's go humanoids for 100, Alex.
You got it, and my name's David. All right, according to an early call to MAU, what is the infamous warning about what to do if you encounter the mirrored men? Sean.
I believe that is the, you're going to lose some time, so don't look at them.
Can you be more specific? It's a specific phrase we're looking for.
I don't know that phrase.
Can't give it to you. Let's see. Time might be up. I don't think anybody can buzz in again. The phrase we're looking for was look away and walk away, calm as you can.
Right.
I'm going to give us some more time in the buzzer too, by the way, so that we get that going, and hopefully that doesn't mess things up. Sean, you're still in control. What would you like next?
Let's change it up. Let's go with spiritualism for 100.
Alrighty. Who were the trio of women famous in the 19th century for their success as mediums? No takers. They were family members. They were all kin to each other. Sean.
That would be the Mandrell sisters.
Not quite. Nope.
We were looking for the Judds, actually.
That's right, the Judds. That was the Fox sisters. The Fox sisters. Sean, still you.
Let's go to It Came from the Sea for 100.
Okay. Which sea creature has been said to be mistaken manatee sightings? Brad.
Mermaid.
That is correct. Brad, you have control of the board. Where would you like to go?
Let's say it came from the sea for 300.
300. Until its rediscovery in 1938, what ancient species of fish were thought to have gone extinct 66 million years ago? Sean.
That would be a coelacanth.
That would be correct, and you're back in the positive. Yes. You have control. What would you like?
Came from the sea, 200, please.
For 2, what massive creature of Scandinavian lore has been reported off the coasts? Brad.
Kraken.
Kraken is correct. Brad, you have control. What would you like?
It came from the sea, 400.
400. A 1995 analysis concluded that whale blubber was the 1896 blob that washed up in what city? was a U.S. city, coastal, old.
Some could say the oldest.
Brad.
Boston?
Not Boston.
Older.
Sean.
Would that be Plymouth?
Not Plymouth. Go further south. Alma.
Baltimore?
Not Baltimore. Further south than that. No takers. It was St. Augustine, Florida. The oldest city. Brad, I think you have control. Is that right?
Let's finish it up. 500 came from the sea.
For 500, in 1968, August W. Hagelin claimed to have caught a baby specimen near DeCourcy Island. Brad.
The Cadborosaurus?
That is correct. Well done. Which category would you like now, Brad?
Ooh, let's see. Humanoids for 200.
Humanoids for 2. Which trestle-frequenting hybrid creature resembles a satyr from Greek mythology? Pope Lick Trestle. Bowie, Maryland, I think. Bowie, Maryland. None of those. It was a goat man. Looking for a goat man on that. Brad, still you.
Humanoids for 300.
For 3, what is the common name for the entity some describe as the Predator while invisible?
The
Brad.
Glimmerman?
Say it again.
The Glimmerman?
That is correct. Brad, still you.
Humanoids, 400, please.
For 4, the small humanoid spotted April 21st, 1977 on a narrow Massachusetts road was nicknamed what? Brad.
Dover Demon.
That is correct. It was the Dover Demon. Still you, Brad.
Finish it out. Humanoids for 500.
The bestial giant witch-looking creature called Penelope is said to roam which mountain range? Sean.
Adirondacks.
Not the Adirondacks, sorry. Anybody else?
West
Brad.
Coast.
Sierra Nevada?
Sierra Nevada is correct. Well done, Brad. On to spiritualism. Which one would you like?
200, please.
For 200, a pair of bent wires is one tool used to find underground water using what method? Sean.
Water witch.
I'll accept that. The another name for it is dowsing, but yeah, water witching is acceptable. Which one would you like, Sean?
Let's go spiritualism for 300, please.
300. 22 major arcana and 56 minor make up what tool of divination? Lots of pictures, lots of art, lots of different versions of this you can get. Cups, pentacles, swords.
The Fool.
Staves, the Fool, the Hermit. The Devil. Alma. Unmute and try that again.
Sorry about that. Tarot cards.
You are correct, Alma. Good job. Which of those two would you like next?
400.
For 400. A planchette is used to spell out messages on what device? Sean.
Ouija board.
That's correct. All right, Sean, to end us out here, what SB7 Spirit Box experiment technique was named after the hotel in which it was conceived? You'll see this on Hellier, right, Derek?
Yeah.
It's featured in that. It's from a hotel in Colorado. The Shining is connected. Oh, Alma.
The Stanley Hotel?
That is...
It's the name of the book, but...
You know what? I'll give it to you. It's the Estes method from...
The Estes, yeah.
Yeah, the Estes Park Hotel there, which is the same thing that was the Stanley Hotel.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. No, you're fine. So that does it for this round, and it looks like Brad came out on top with 1,600. Congratulations, Brad. Good job, everybody. Thank you for playing that round.
Thank you guys for playing. It was a much better round. We didn't have any major malfunctions this time, so this is much better. But thank you guys for coming in. Sarah, you want to get started on the next group so we don't lag behind on this?
Yep. All right. So I'm dropping the link again, and yeah, try to come in if you want to play.
And Brad, don't forget to stick around because you're going to be playing for the grand prize here in a little bit.
I extended that time, the timer, and I think that helps people buzz in.
It does,
gives them more
yeah.
time to buzz. Yeah.
I think we're a little bit of a lag on a few people here, but we'll make it work. This isn't Jeopardy. Yet. We're working on it.
Yeah. It's tough to do with connections. So.
Okay, that link is dropped. Sean, I'm going to kick you out of here. Sorry.
Sean, what was your favorite
Bye,
moment of the shoot?
Oh, wait. All right, we won't kick you out.
Yeah, don't kick him out just yet.
My favorite moment of the shoot definitely was going to the Iron Door bar.
Sitting on filthy pews outside.
Just want to apologize for that.
Yeah.
Good time.
Jeez.
Hopefully that outside conversation is safe enough to make it in.
There were some rough and tumble locations we frequented on our little trip out there. The Iron Door was one of them.
Yes.
You know the Wild West shows where you think you're going to get shot when you walk through those swinging doors? That was the Iron Door.
I think you're right. I don't.
Good tacos, though.
Yes, they were very good tacos.
Cool. Anyways, love you guys. Love you guys. See you later.
Thank you,
Thanks, Sean.
Thank you.
Take care of yourself.
Let's see. I dropped that code in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have some people playing again, as you guys can see, but that's okay. I told them they can come back. All right, Summer's coming back too. Okay, so we have some people playing again.
What teams are we?
All right, can we get one more person in here? And then, go ahead, David, say the teams.
Sure thing. Team 1, Blaze. Blaze, you're going to be Team 1, so when you log into that buzzer, you'll pick number 1.
Okay.
Brandy, you will be Team 2.
Okay. I have the buzzer now.
Sweet. Jeremy, you're going to be 3. Summer, you'll be 4.
Oh, oops.
And Davina, you'll be 5 this time. All right, let's reveal the board. First category we got.
David, is it too late to add one more player?
No, go for it.
All right,
I think.
We got one more new person in here.
It all comes crashing down.
Can you spell that for me, the name, Sarah? Because I can't read that small on my screen.
Jiustino.
Justino. Cool. All right, Justino, you'll be Team 6 when you set up your buzzer.
Sorry, I just wanted to let one more person have a chance if you
Sure
wanted
thing.
to come in.
All right, Justino. Cool.
May I get
So,
the code for the buzzer, please?
oh yeah, that is Sarah. Is that in the chat? Did I put that in there?
It's in the chat.
Yes, it's in the chat. Summer, it's right above where you typed I need the code. Do you see it? Oh, you might have came in after it was already there. Hold on.
Yeah, I think so.
I'll send
Let
it
me
again.
do it again. I sent it.
Thank you. I got it.
Justino, you all set too? All right, I'll take that as a no.
I think they're frozen. Justino, can you hear us?
I'm trying to unmute them, but I can't.
It looks frozen, I think.
It might be frozen.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
All right.
Welcome to technology,
Oh,
folks.
wait. Coming back in. Hold on, let me remove. They're coming on a different computer, I think.
Thank you, everybody, for being patient while we set this up. This is not the smoothest of operations here.
They're coming on a different computer.
All right, looks like we might have Justino back.
We set this up. This is not the smoothest of operations.
Sorry, what was the website for the buzzer?
All right, looks like we might have Justino back.
It was ccg.buzz. Buzz.
We lost them again. All right, let's
Right.
move on. Sorry guys, but let's
Sorry.
move on. We keep losing them.
Alrighty, so 3 categories this time. The first one is going to be jungle cryptids. The second one, cursed items. The third one, hometown legends. If you remember your Monsters Among Us past episodes, you're going to be in good shape for that category. So, first on the list, Blaze, my man, what category would you like to start with?
I'll take jungle cryptids for 100, please.
You got it. For 100, what is the Congolese cryptid whose name means the one who stops the flow of rivers? Oh. Blaze.
That would be... it has an elephant's head, and its trunk or tail is a snake. It's...
Got an answer?
I want to say it's the...
Sorry, Blaze. We'll have to let somebody else have a crack at this. Anybody else want to try? It's one of those living dinosaurs they talk about.
Oh. God.
Lives in the Congo, if that helps. I don't know. Never mind. It says in the question. I'm an idiot.
Was that? I was confusing it with another.
You might have been, Blaze, you might have been thinking of the dingo neck, but that was Mokele Mbembe.
Yeah, using the one in the Congo.
In the other river?
Yeah, the one that lives in the mine, that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you still have control, Blaze. Which you want to keep trying those or go to a new category?
Jungle cryptids for 200.
For 200, which 3 to 6 foot reddish brown hominid is said to reside in the jungles of Sumatra?
Oh my god, oh my god. Oh.
Blaze.
Orang Pendek?
Damn it.
Good job, Blaze. It's the one. You still have control. What would you like?
Know it.
Hometown Legends for 100.
Alrighty. Raymond Robinson's severely disfigured face and nighttime walks led him to being called Green Man, and what other nickname?
Oh.
Blaze.
Charlie No Face.
That is correct. Good job. Which one would you like next?
Cursed items for 100.
New one for 100. What cursed effigy has survived numerous tropical storms? Jeremy.
Robert the doll.
Beat me.
That is correct, and you're on the board. Jeremy, which would you like now?
Let's do hometown legends for 300.
For 300. Land that produces an optical illusion on a road, making a car appear to roll uphill. Blaze.
It would be called Gravity Falls, or sometimes Gravity Hills.
I'll take that. It's Gravity Hill.
Like the TV show, yeah.
Yeah. Blaze, your choice.
Jungle cryptids for 300.
300. Which living dinosaur is described as large, nocturnal, and glows as it flies? Blaze.
It begins with an R. It is Ropan.
I'll take it.
Yeah,
Ropan is correct. All right, Blaze, still you.
Jungle cryptids for 400.
For 4. Spanish colonists noted that what creature was the most feared among the mythical creatures of the Philippines, even in the 16th century? Blaze.
The Aswang, or something like that.
That's it. Exactly. Good job, Blaze. What would you like next?
Jungle cryptids for 500.
For 5. What is the name of the hairy beast in Brazilian lore said to be a shaman cursed by the gods?
Oh. I can see it.
It has a mouth on its belly.
Doesn't help. Oh.
No takers. That would be the Mapinguari. Mapinguari. All right, Blaze, still yours.
Hometown legends for 200.
For 2. Sounds of fighting, shoulder taps, and a woman in white are experienced where what adulterous woman was killed in Michigan? Jeremy.
The Bell Witch. I honestly just guessing at this point, but the Bell
Close,
Witch.
but not quite. Not quite. You got half of it right, I will say that.
Oh, the witch part, yeah.
Anybody? Derek, any clues?
It's a 3-letter town in Michigan that she's named after.
Famous for the fighting of the ghosts. Of her husband fighting the adulterer. Nope, it's the Ada Witch. Ada, Michigan is what we're... All right, let's see. Blaze, you're still in control.
Cursed items for 200.
For 2. The cursed wine cabinet sold on eBay in 2003. Summer.
The Dybbuk box.
That is correct, and you're on the board, Summer. Good job. Let's see. Which one would you like next?
Cursed items for 300, please.
For 3. Which haunted toy has conjured up 3 featured films between 2014? Summer.
Annabelle.
Annabelle is correct. Nicely done. Which would you like next?
Cursed items for 400, please.
For 4. Bad luck follows the owners of what famous gemstone?
Oh.
Blaze.
The Hope Diamond.
That is correct. Well done, Blaze, and it's back to you.
Hometown legends for 400, please.
For 4. The infamous feral camel said to carry a headless skeletal rider. Blaze.
The Red Ghost. Something like that.
Oh my god.
Not
Blaze
something
is on a
like
roll.
that. Exactly like that.
Blaze is on a roll.
Blaze, you got 2 left. Which one would you like?
Cursed items.
Cursed items for 5. Little Bastard, the car that actor James Dean was killed in, was manufactured by what company? This was after the wreck. It was chopped up. Parts were sold and put in other cars. Bad luck followed all that. Summer, you got a guess?
Is it Porsche?
Damn it.
It is exactly Porsche. Good job.
Thank you.
And the last one, Hometown Legends for 5. What was the name of the deceased 19-year-old woman, Jeremy?
Oh my god, I just let my brain. She was on the first episode of Lore. Fuck.
What's your language?
My bad. Emily Rose, I want to say, even though I know it's wrong.
Not quite. Sorry. Anybody else? She was exhumed and desecrated in the 1892 New England vampire panic. Probably died of tuberculosis, but everybody thought a vampire was getting after people. Her body was preserved there because it was so cold. she had to be stored and then buried in the cold and stuff. And so when they dug her up, she looked pretty fresh, and that's what led them to believe.
Often referred to as the vampire of Rhode Island.
Anybody? Nope. It is Mercy Brown. Mercy Brown. Well, out of round 3, with a score of 2,000 points, Blaze pulls it out in a blaze of glory, of course. Well done. Thank you, everybody. Good job, you guys.
Thank you, contestants. Blaze, make sure you stick around.
I will.
Bow to the crypto kid.
That's right.
All right, can we have
Ready?
Frankie come back in? And then, sorry, I don't know who won round 2.
Round 2 was Brad.
Brad, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, so we need Brad and we need Frankie from round 1 back to go up against Blaze. And I'm going to drop the link in the...
This is for all the marbles.
By the way, your prize is just a bag of marbles.
All right, Frankie is here. And Brad is here.
Yeah, here I'm
all the marbles.
By
the way, your prize is...
Thank you.
All right, we've got everybody for the final round here. And Brad is here.
Yeah, here I'm
all the marbles. By the way, your prize is...
Blaze will be team 1. Frankie, you'll be team 2. And Brad, you'll be team 3.
Good luck, everyone.
Best of luck. They're going to get a little harder.
Maybe we dug a little too deep this year, David.
Oh,
boy. Some of these questions. A few of them, I'm like, I don't remember what the answer was to this one.
That's right. Give me just a second here.
We having technical problems?
Yeah, it looks like a couple of the files are mixed up a little bit, but I can figure it out. Hang on.
Okay. And while he's working on that, I'm just going to remind everybody we're going to do this round, and we're going to move on to our next segment here, which is
I just buzzed.
A little award ceremony for some of our bigger fans on our social media platforms. So stick around. After this, we're going to be doing the Amongsties, which is a play on the Dundies from The Office. So hang out for that. David, how we looking?
I might have to give people a new code because the file got mixed up on my end.
Okay.
So just stand by. I'll get you a new code here in a second once I get that file going. Oh, y'all don't want to see that.
I was just gonna say, we're seeing your screen, but
let's see.
The new code.
New code.
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah.
Oh, we got Addie back in here. Everybody behave yourselves.
Yeah,
put it in right there.
Yeah, well,
Your name.
I know. Yeah.
Just got to get her loaded back up, you guys. Sorry about that.
Thanks for bearing with us. If anybody wants to make a quick buck, they can redesign a quick game show platform that we could use next year, because this one's pretty clunky.
It really is. It was better last time. I don't know what must have just fallen apart behind the old scenes. Let's see. This is one. And see if this one is the right one.
Kahoot.
Addie, look at the
chat. Look into that. Jamie Murray.
The Crypto Den Mom is here.
I can't see that chat. I've got to open up something different. Okay. I was looking at the Kahoot. So whoever, Frankie recommended Kahoot, and I'm like, oh, we use that in the classroom all the time. That's why I thought you guys. Okay, I'll go somewhere else and look.
No, look at on the right hand side where it says comments, and Jamie Murray just said Addie's here to stop the F bombs.
I yelled. I might have yelled out loud when that came.
They don't call her the crypto den mom for nothing. We still waiting for that code, David?
It's it has switched out one of my files. So I don't know what. Oh, I see. Okay, give me just a second. I might have figured it out.
I'll let you guys and say, do we have a quick fix?
Wheels are falling off.
Derek, where's that Fresno Nightcrawlers pennant from?
Where is that?
That was in the Cribs tour.
It's from a Cryptid
in the
Crate.
tour. I was like, where is that thing?
Cool.
Yeah, that was from Cryptid Crate. That was that was several years ago. We did a limited run on those.
Need that.
Yeah.
Derek, did you design that?
I think I did. Yeah. Somebody needs to put together a line of cryptid pennants. I don't know if any artists out there are listening, but we gave it a shot at Cryptid Crate, but somebody just knocks it out of the park and designs this awesome series of pennants, and I guarantee you people will buy those things. So if there's any artist out there with that talent listening, Frankie and I are both in line to pick some of those up, I think.
I will say that we have some Monsters Among Us pennants coming very soon.
That's a true story.
They are in the works.
Derek, it literally copied one of my files for 3 and 4. I can put these in real quick, but it'll take me maybe 5 minutes.
Okay.
So I got to kind of write one of those for scratch if people can either hang out or you can do your awards or something.
Well, let's call an audible right now. We'll you guys, if you don't mind standing by for a few minutes, let's do these amongst these, and then we'll circle around for this last round, and we'll finish this whole bad boy out.
Thank you. Also, I love the Krampus sweater, and I want to say T-shirt.
Yes, it's my pajama top. That's what we established earlier. So thanks, Blaze.
Match. Hey, Blaze, how old are you today?
12. My birthday was yesterday, and I wanted to thank you for, thank you. I don't know. My mom said you posted that, and they said hi, so,
Yeah. Are you in middle school or what?
Homeschooled.
Okay. Are we moving on to awards?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Blaze.
Thank you.
All right, guys, don't go anywhere. We're going to put you in the backstage area or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
We're going to circle back to you here in just a few minutes, and we're going to move on to this next one. Brad, I just noticed, are you wearing a Blue Jackets hat?
I sure am. I wanted to represent fellow guys such as yourself, so thought it was appropriate.
Awesome. Well done.
I
Well done.
don't have any Blackhawks gear in this room, which is really odd because I normally would.
I actually do have some Blackhawks gear. I love all hockey, so no problem.
Derek, I cannot put them backstage. I either have to kick them out or I have to kick them out or they stay in. So I think they should just stay in.
All right, guys, you're going to hang out and watch us give a couple of awards away. All right, so let's move on to this last segment here. So Sarah and I are big fans of The Office, and I know Addie actually is as well. And we watch it kind of on our downtime. It's just kind of that zone out thing to put on the TV that's not paranormal. It seems to be what takes over our life these days. So as we were watching recently, we thought, well, what if we did an award ceremony for some of the bigger fans of Monsters Among Us? Because we have people that comment 20 times a day on our social medias, and those people need to be recognized. So tonight we're going to give away a handful of awards, and Addie's going to kind of take over here and get this all started. Basically, this is kind of tongue-in-cheek. Don't take this too seriously, but we're going to try to have some fun with this.
Yep.
Addie, go ahead.
Okay. So, as you guys know, I am assistant to the regional manager, or was at one time, and that's a big joke. So, we have a repeat offender, and this person can tell a mother-loving story. And they reign from the beautiful state of Massachusetts, which I don't really know if it's beautiful because I was like 8 the last time I was there, but I am honored to present David McKenzie. If you're listening or on, David, the Repeat Offender Award.
And here's your amongsty.
You have an amongsty, David.
Wow. We will be mailing these out to all the winners. If you are in there listening and you won, shoot us your address so we can get this stuff out to you.
Sarah?
Okay, I have a couple amongst these that I want to give out for social media people that stand out on social media. So mine goes to Joe Drevdahl for, and I'm so sorry if I pronounce your name wrong, but you get most stylish. And, you know, I don't know if I can share my screen, but I do have a picture of Joe. Like, I don't know if you guys can see this, but he is styling in his Monsters Among Us t-shirt, hat, and he even he put it on his TV for this picture. And his mug.
He's got a mug as well.
And, you know, he also posts pictures of his cute dog with Monsters Among Us a hat on and all that. So Joe, you get most stylish amongsty. And then I have one more. So this is Philip. This goes to Philip Azua for best Instagram stories. You tag us on Instagram all the time in your stories. You represent. You show us your awesome Monsters Among Us gear. You shout out the show whenever Derek puts out a new episode, and we thank you for that. So thank you you get best Instagram stories to Philip. Thank you.
Well done, gentlemen. Moving right along, there is an active member in the Facebook group, and I am going to butcher his last name, but that's okay because I really truly think this person is probably Sasquatch in real life. Eddie Yarok. Eddie, where are you? Are you here? Eddie, congratulations. We know why your photos are all blurry. Thanks, Eddie.
All right.
Okay. Our next amongsty goes to the Texas Ranger of our group. I don't know if you guys recall a hometown legend a while back, but it was about a pig man. And this person can tell a story. Alan Peschke out of Texas. Alan, thank you for representing us in Texas. We love your calls. And Alan, your little pet project,
Thank you, Alan. I really look forward to Alan's Hometown Legends. And I don't think he sent one in for the last one, and I have one for this upcoming. So I'm pretty excited about
that. That's great news. This next award is close to my heart. This person and I became friends on the Book of the Faces, even though Derek's like, don't be crazy and like friend everybody that comes in the fan group.
I told you not to scare people is what I told you.
Oh, that was it.
That was the order. You can interpret it any way you want, but that was the order. Don't scare people.
This person was around longer than I was, and they don't say much, but they don't have to. I like to call this the old one, aka not because they're old, but because of Cthulhu. Shelly Alexander.
Shelly's been around for a long time. You earned this one, Shelly.
I adore you, Shelly. Thank you.
He was around when there was like 100 listeners, so I think something like that. He's one of those names I recognize from way back.
Yeah. Do you guys understand how incredibly crazy it is? It seems menial. It seems like it doesn't that wouldn't be hard to moderate social media or interact with fans. It's not hard, but we all need a head of security. We all need a dragon. And MAU's dragon is Chris Cevallos out of Texas. Chris, we just hope you have some really badass sunglasses.
It even says dragon right on the award there.
And Derek, it's your turn.
I have one. I wanted to give an award away because throughout the entire show, I'll be quite frank with everybody, there was parts in the show where we were struggling. It was difficult to produce the show. Is basically a full-time job, and it has been for a long time. And for a while, we weren't making full-time job money off of the show. So there was a lot of hungry weeks, I guess you could say. And there was a lot of fans out there that donated money and bought things and did things to keep the show going. But one of them went above and beyond, and she still does to this day. The only person I ever get any donation from, which I'm not asking for anymore, but she still does it, and I love her to death, and I couldn't thank her enough for what she's done to keep the show going. So Teresa Zorko, this little amongsty is for you. Thank you, Teresa. So thank you to all of our winners. A little silent golf clap so we don't bust any speakers, but a huge thanks to all the fans that are in, and we'll probably do something like this again next time. So keep commenting, keep liking, and keep posting stuff.
So
David, sorry, Addie,
well, I
go
was
ahead.
just going to say, if we called your name, please email the Monsters Among Us podcast or Monsters Among Us podcast at gmail.com. Or if I said that too fast, just email me your address so we can email you your things. And if you know that person and they were not able to watch tonight or whatever, let them know. But we'll tag them.
We'll find them one way or another. And that goes for you guys too. You're all three winners, and you get prize packs. So make sure we get your address before the end of this. Mm-hmm. So David, how are we looking? Are we operational?
I believe we're good to go. Let me share that screen for you.
Okay.
Thanks for your patience, you guys.
That worked out great.
Alrighty.
Let's see who gets crowned the
Are we the same
Trivia
teams?
champion.
Same teams as before. Blaze is 1, Frankie's 2, Brad is 3. New code. And just give me a thumbs up when you guys have your buzzer and are ready to go. There's 1, there's 2.
Okay.
And Blaze is good. All right. So your categories for the final round are UFOs/UAPs, haunted places, and Australian Fortiana. Blaze, you are in first on the first team there, so you get to pick first.
I'm going to have to go with UFOs and UAPs for 100.
You got it. For 100, what New Hampshire couple claimed to be abducted? Frankie. Try it again, unmute.
Naturally. Barney and Betty Hill.
You got it. All right, Frankie, you have control.
Let's stick with this category for 200.
Okay. A humanoid figure was spotted around LA at least 5 times. Frankie.
Jetpack.
He was wearing a jetpack. Nice job. Still yours, Frankie.
300, same category.
For 3. The UAP recorded by a Navy fighter jet in 2004. Frankie.
The Tic Tac UFO.
That was the fresh nickname. Good job. Still you. Want to keep going?
Yeah.
For 400. Canada's best documented UFO case, according to CBC News, took place in what location in southeastern Manitoba, Canada?
I'll give a hint on this one. The gentleman that encountered it got burned.
A weird burn pattern on his chest. Blaze.
Falcon Lake incident.
You got it, Blaze, and you're on the board.
Wow.
Yes.
What would you like next?
I love your podcast, so I know like all of these.
That's awesome.
Okay, I am going to go with Australian Fortiana for 200.
For 200, often described as dog-faced, which creature of Aboriginal lore lurks in swamps? Blaze.
That would be the I know its name. It's like the dog face thing. It's the. It makes. I remember you mentioning that you one of you was horrified by by the weird cartoon of it.
That's true.
Yeah, it was the
Need an answer? Sorry, Blaze. Got to give Brad rang in next. Brad, what do you think?
Tasmanian Devil?
Not quite the Tasmanian Devil. Frankie, any guesses?
Oh.
No. That would be the dog-faced Bunyip.
Ah, it was the Bunyip. I knew it.
Bunyip, yep, from Dot and the Kangaroo. That was the that was the cartoon. Weird rendition of the Bunyip in that one, but yeah. Blaze, you still are in control.
Okay, Australian Fortiana for 100.
For 1. What's the most common name for Australia's Bigfoot? Frankie.
The Yowie.
Ah.
The Yowie is correct. And which one would you like now, Frankie?
Ooh. Let's finish up UFOs, UAPs.
For 500, in UAP jargon, what does the acronym ATIP stand for? I don't hear them say it often, Derek. Do you?
No.
I always just hear ATIP.
And I couldn't even give you a clue because I don't know the answer to this.
It's a governmental program, and I just gave you one of the letters. Well, that would be the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program.
If you watch Para Weekly, I covered that a couple episodes ago, but I forgot myself. So what would that do?
Frankie, I believe you are still in control.
All right, let's go back to Australian Fortiana for 300.
For 3. Now considered extinct, which carnivorous marsupial blazed?
That would be the Tasmanian tiger or Tasmanian wolf. Or Francine.
You got him.
May it rest in peace.
Got them all, and indeed. Blaze, which one would you like next?
Haunted places for 100.
Trying out the ghosts. For 1, what San Jose haunted mansion? Brad.
The Winchester.
More specific?
The Winchester Mystery House.
You got it. That's the one. Climbing out of the hole. Brad, which one would you like next?
Let's go with haunted places for 200, please.
For 200, which Atchison, Kansas abode is tormented by the ghost of a little girl? I think a famous EVP has come out of that lately. Is that right, Derek?
Yeah, another
Frankie,
podcast.
what do you think?
The Sally House?
That's correct. That's the one. Frankie, which one you want next?
Let's go haunted places 300.
For 3. Louisville's Waverly Hills is what type of establishment? Brad.
Sanitarium.
I'll take it. That's right. And you were on the plus side. You have control. What would you like next, Brad?
Haunted places 400, please.
For 4. The Whaley House is one of the most haunted houses in which city? Which city's the Whaley House in? Derek, you know anything about that one?
Yeah, great weather. Great tacos, too.
Yeah, I'm really charged up for it.
Not anymore.
Brad.
Los Angeles?
Not Los Angeles. Sorry. I don't know. You might need a Padre for this one, Derek.
Just might.
Why are we giving all
Or an
sports fans?
Or an anchor man.
San Diego.
It is San Diego.
Homer City.
Nice job. Which one would you like, Frankie?
Let's do haunted places 500.
For 5, which infamous stretch of road had its route number Blaze?
That would be. I think it's. I've heard a nickname of it's like Devil's Road or something, but it's the one with like 13th Highway or something. 13th Highway. I don't remember really.
Sorry, Blaze. Can't give that one to you. You're close. Brad.
What is Route 666?
It is Route 666. Back into the positive. Brad, you got 2 left. Which one you want?
Let's go the 500 one.
500 for Australian Fortiana. Which creature from Aboriginal mythology? Blaze.
Little red frog-like man. I'm going with they supposedly taught the Aboriginals like they were tall. Little. Never mind. I confused cryptids.
Oh, sorry, Blaze. Anybody else want to give it a shot? You resemble a little frog-like man.
I don't know this one either.
It's a tough one. That was the Yaramayahu. Yaramayahu. And the last category for 400, rubbing Vegemite all over yourself is one way to deter Blaze.
They would be drop bears.
And that is correct. Well done. All right. So at the end of the final round, Team 2 with 1,300 points, Frankie, you are our champion. Congratulations. Good job, everybody. Good round.
I hand the round over to you, sir.
Blaze, I love your passion. I love your passion.
Thank you.
Now, Frankie, you get the grand prize. Don't forget. Blaze and Brad, you guys both get other prizes. So make sure we get your address. Hook up with us, send us an email or something. And thank you guys so much for playing. Excellent work. And Blaze, it was so close this year, but you'll have to be back next year to try
Still
winning
impressive.
Don't worry, I'll be back next year.
I'm sure you will.
Definitely.
I have a random dumb question. Will you guys smile? This is not going to turn out. It's not going to show any defining features, but I would really like a picture with all you guys.
Okay.
Thank you. Because I'm ditching small children, so they want proof that I'm just not hiding in a room.
Gotcha.
Yeah, thanks for hosting this, and go blue, Derek.
Of course, go Bucks. You guys win every 17 years or so. So you had your fun. We'll see you in 17 years, man.
Great. Sounds good.
All right, everybody. We want to thank you all so much for taking the time to come hang out with us, play trivia, watch our videos. A humongous thanks to my wife, Sarah, for putting all this stuff together. A huge thanks to Addie for coming and joining us and helping us out with the Amongsties. And, of course, David Flora, thank you so much, buddy, for coming on here and entertaining everybody while I just sit back and watch. I loved it. Tell everybody where they can find Quiz Bang Bang and Blurry Photos.
Sure thing. Blurry Photos, blurryphotos.org, all the major podcast stuff. And usually I'm hanging around what Derek's doing. And Quiz Bang Bang, my trivia podcast. It's not cryptid trivia, but there is some of that in there. It's very general knowledge stuff, but I do that with my wife, Annie. That's at quizbangpod.com and Quiz Bang Bang on all the apps.
And it's awesome for road trips. So if you're driving somewhere, plug that guy in. You'll learn something and you'll be entertained. So any last parting words from anyone before we get out of here?
I have to say something, and this is totally not cryptid related, and I'm pretty sure Derek is going to be like, oh, sweet baby Jesus, knock it off.
Here we go.
Matt, I know you're probably watching. You now have to come to one of my Jeep Jamborees. Because Matt's a Jeep guy. Your guys' guy, Matt. And
our editor, Matt?
Yeah.
I didn't know he was a Jeep guy.
He is a Jeep guy. I've been working on him for about 2 years now. So now it's like, oh. Anyways.
Now there's a connection. You got to get him out there.
Well, exactly. And then David, we have to next time you're near the big square state, let me know.
I gotta make it up to the Stanley Hotel there, in Estes Park. I gotta make that's pretty close to you, right? That should be
about 5 hours. So
closer than here.
in Wyoming space, that's pretty close. I think.
Yeah, right.
There is a 4 hour Billings, Denver, Salt Lake City. It's all it's one of those radial. It's an anomaly. We're 4 hours away from everything.
Geographical anomaly. 2 weeks from everywhere.
Thank you. You got it. You knew what I was going for.
Also, I just got a great Jeep Grand Cherokee, so maybe I can join your Jeep party.
You can. I'll send you information.
Yay!
Sarah, what'd you have to say?
Yeah, so I just wanted to say, thank you so much for everybody who tuned in tonight. Thank you to everybody who tunes in every week. We truly, truly love this community so much. So I hope you guys have a great holiday and a happy new year, and stay safe. And we'll see you next year.
Happy holidays, everybody. Thanks again, and keep it spooky out there.
Hey, Jamie Murray wins. Monsters Among Us meet and greet at the Stanley.
We hope that we can see you guys in person in 2022. Yeah. We truly do.
Once we feel like we're safe to get out and mingle around, we're going to open this thing up, and you're going to see us places. So so don't worry about that.
Yes, we can't wait for that. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good
Bye,
night.
Everyone. Happy holidays.